Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I hope everyone's doing great today. I hope you had an amazing day, all that good stuff. Today I'm making a bit more of an interesting video for my channel that I haven't really done before. So a lot of you guys are probably familiar with the YouTube channel Mayo, especially if you're into kind of the whole law enforcement side of things and everything like that. Long time ago, my roommate showed me this guy. He was kind of into watching his videos. I immediately said after watching about 5 minutes, yeah, you realize this is staged, right? He's like, no, it's not staged. How do you know that? You know, blah, 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 right? So, long story short, it comes out as staged. So for anyone who doesn't know, yes, Mayo's videos are staged. What I'm going to be doing today is kind of a little breakdown of one of his most recent videos called Jacked Asian Guy Uses a Bulletproof Hoodie to Block My Taser. So you already know from the title this is going to be a great video, right? So I'm basically gonna go through this. I'm going to talk about the different situations, why it's staged, what would actually be happening in that situation, what's wrong with it. And Mr. Mayo, if you're watching this, take this as my opportunity, my offer, my resume to come on board with you to make these videos and be your realism consultant. Okay, so if you want to have a realistic perspective on things, and I'm willing, I'm open. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to react to this. I'm going to edit out the parts in between. Of course, you're just getting the good juicy bits. This is a 22-minute video. I hope the video is not that long on my channel, but yeah, this is a good one. I've already watched it. Is it a blind reaction? I'm just trying to dissect a few things, let you guys know what's wrong with it. It's still entertaining, I suppose, but yeah, let's go ahead and hop straight into it.
Three running out of the car, car's taking off. You can come talk to me like a man, and you don't, I'm gonna come in there, I'll make you my bitch. Hang out. No, put it back on. No. I don't want to touch it. What are you doing? Tom, take it down to the ground, baby.
So from the intro, it doesn't look terrible. It definitely looks like it's a little bit more dramatic than you'd expect in any sort of real situation, right? But the intro itself isn't terrible. Let's go ahead and hop into the main part of the video.
What taser you got? X2? The original. X2? Is it loaded? We'll put some fucking... Or I should load it, right? Yeah. And then if I need it, I'll get it.
So this part here kind of bugged me, right? So basically what we're expecting to happen right now is, or expected to believe right now, is these guys own probably about $250,000 or more vehicle. So this armored car that they're driving, right? I think it's called like a I can't remember the name at the moment, and I don't want to butcher it, but it's an armored vehicle essentially, right? It's a SWAT vehicle. We're expected to believe that they own this multi-$100,000 vehicle, right? And they're sending just two guys to go and get this guy who has maybe a couple hundred to a couple $1,000s worth of bail outstanding, which is already ridiculous within itself, right? Let's be honest. On top of that, we're expected to believe that there's two guys going, and that one of them decided to not even load his taser when they don't know what they're getting into, and apparently this guy is some sort of a gangster, so he's possibly dangerous, you know, that kind of thing. He doesn't even have his taser loaded, okay? So, you know, it is what it is, I guess, but that's definitely already a huge red flag in this video, so let's go ahead and continue. Something else I actually want to point out here as well. So you can see in the background right here, hopefully you can see that on my screen. It's kind of up in the middle right here where I'm moving my mouse. There's actually a police car there. There's an unmarked police car, so some sort of a Explorer-esque police cruiser. Why that's there is actually because what will happen is Mayo will have real police officers show up and block off the scene so that he can film these little stunts. Right, because if this dude just rolls into a neighborhood with a vehicle like this and the getup he has, it's going to cause issues, right? Especially if people think that he's legit in any capacity. So you'll even see this vehicle in the background in other shots, but this is a legitimate police vehicle that they've either commissioned or got to volunteer to come out and block off traffic and just kind of help keep things safe for them while they're filming these stunts. Just something to be aware of for everybody watching this. And if you heard that right there, yet another one of the many issues with this. Apparently this new guy has never loaded a taser before, but yet he's being sent out on this super dangerous mission that they need an armored vehicle for, and you know, to capture this high-ranking mafia, right? So this high-ranking mafia member, but he's never loaded his taser. It's a little bit weird, right? Definitely something funky going on with the script there, Patty Mayo. I think you need to work on that for the next video.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? Hey, sir, my name's Patrick. Is your name... Okay, well, hey, how much meth we done today? How much meth we done?
Pat, he's got a chip, Pat.
This is kind of an issue, obviously, for anyone in any sort of actual, you know, law enforcement application or bail enforcement, as these guys are supposed to be bounty hunters, whatever you want to call them. You wouldn't just come straight out the gate, you know, making accusations like that, like how much meth have you smoked today or anything like that. It's a very unprofessional attitude. It's all just for the drama, right? He's all just, it's dramatized. It's supposed to be a realistic depiction of what goes on in these events in real life. It's really not. Again, Patty Mayo, if you're seeing this, this is my resume to come and be your realism consultant. Please hire me. I feel like it would pay pretty well while you're filming these little stunts and everything, so definitely feel free to give me a shout. Here's something kind of key that I want to point out, right? So they stage basically everything of this whole interaction. So if you look here, there's three guys standing here, just chilling, hands in their pockets. You know, who knows what they're doing there? That's their business, right? The reason you know this is staged, and there's an issue with this, is because these guys are standing here. It's 2021, and what do you notice? None of them are taking videos with their cell phones. None of them are taking pictures. They're just more content sitting there and watching. I can guarantee in a real situation like this, if you see an armored car roll up your street and cross over to the sidewalk in, you know, a fairly decent looking neighborhood, you're gonna obviously start taking pictures or videos of it, putting that on social media, right? As things go nowadays, you're probably gonna get in front of whoever's face it is who came there, start yelling about how they're doing their job terribly and all that good stuff, right? So that's obviously kind of a dead flag giveaway on its own. So let's go ahead and continue this great video.
Give me 40s.
Here's another little issue, Mr. Mayo, with what's going on here. So you guys got your airsoft kits on. That's all cool and dandy, right? If you notice two things here, right here and right here. These are going to be kind of like their little nameplates that are on the back of their bail enforcement agent vests, right? The issue with this is no agency who is any sort of legitimate is going to allow you to just put Tom as your nameplate on the back of your vest, right, on the back of your kit. No one's going to allow you to just print Tom. If anything, it would be T and then whatever your last name is. Kind of like how Mr. Mayo has it over here, right? But again, I don't think that's even his real name. So no agency is going to let you run a YouTube alias on the back of your kit, right? That's just asking for bad things to happen, because individuals need to be held accountable for their interactions. So if you're running fake names on the back of your kit, obviously that doesn't bode well, especially for public safety, right? So that would never happen in a realistic situation. In a real situation, just keep that in mind. It's yet another one of the many flaws in this video. So on we go, on we go. Something else I want to point out here real quick. So what we got going on is Patty Mayo is a right-handed shooter from what I've seen in the video, okay? And if you look down here, what's actually happening is he has his taser set up to be a fully left-handed draw. How most law enforcement officers are going to have it set up, and even the military personnel in terms of like military police and that kind of thing that would carry such you know, equipment, they have it set up to be a cross-hand draw or a cross-arm draw, cross-body draw, whatever you want to call it, where you're reaching across with your right hand and grabbing it from your left side, then pulling it out with your right hand still, right? So what's happening here is if he draws, he's going to have to draw with his left hand, then either be operating that tool with his non-dominant hand, which, you know, obviously isn't going to bode well for aim, or what he does in the video, actually, if you pay attention to it, is he switches it over to his right hand. So anytime he wants to pull it out, he has to draw left, switch to his right, use it, go left, put it away. It's just, it's nonsensical, right? And it just really doesn't make sense. And he's trying to make his kit look all really cool, I guess, with the gun on one side and the taser on the other. And he's just a Wild West cowboy, and he's going in and bringing law and order to these wild places in upper class Detroit, right? From the looks of it. So he's definitely an interesting character. That's all I got to say about this part. And again, you got this dude just over here, this paid actor. He's just smiling, right? So this guy right up here, right? This guy's just standing here smiling. All these people have their hands in their pockets because they're just sitting there thinking, oh, what the fuck am I supposed to do for like the next half an hour while this dude comes and films his staged drama presentation, right? Nobody has their phone out. Nobody's on their phone posting to social media. He's just standing here. He's smiling. He's chilling. He's got his hands in his pockets. So he's like, you know what? This guy's paying me $1,500 to just stand here and chill for 30 minutes. Hell, I'm going to enjoy it, right? So just kind of something I found funny. Now what's interesting about this part is they are apparently going to the 40 mic, the 40mm grenade launcher. Even though at this point this dude hasn't really done too much to barricade himself. He obviously at this point, as far as they know, he doesn't have any sort of a hostage. He doesn't have any sort of situation like that. He's presumably not armed, right? But you can never be sure, so it's better safe than sorry. But this is kind of just an escalation that at this point doesn't really need to happen, because again, this guy, if they're going after him, is a low-tier criminal, right? Like he's got a couple $1,000 worth of bail money outstanding, right? So it's nothing too crazy. Because they would most definitely send more than 2 guys if he was anything serious, right? So just keep that in mind. You know, this is an escalation that's happening for no good reason. Kind of breaks the whole realism thing there, Patty Mayo. I hope this is worked on for your next video. I'll be staying up to date. Don't worry. I'll be checking what you produce next time.
Is it open? Get it open. Look at the back, Tom. Push it this way, towards me. It goes towards me.
Yeah, it's not. It's like the metal's hitting.
Move the fucking wood and get a place to get in there.
Unfortunately, they weren't actually able to commission the fence to be a paid actor, so it was resisting them a little bit there, so they had to struggle with this scene a little bit. Maybe next time you'll be able to pay the fence, Patty Mayo, and it'll work with you a little bit better for your video. I hope so. I hope so.
If he comes out, we have to back up, bro. He'll fucking level us.
Yeah.
So look at your exit.
What an amazing
Raven,
pep talk.
I want you on that side of the gate right now.
Here's a big issue with this one. He's got a taser in his right hand, and what he says is a flashbang in his left hand. If you're trying to do multiple things at once, you're going to do neither thing well. So just put the damn flashbang away, Patty. Okay, just focus on the taser, or put the taser away, just focus on the flashbang, right? Don't try and multitask. Don't try and show us how cool you are, right? We get it. You're a super cool dude. You're a gunslinger. You got a taser on one side of your hip. You got, a gun on the other hip. You're a badass dude. But you don't have to multitask to let us know how badass you are. We already know, okay? Just put one of them away. Just focus on what you're doing, okay? I hope that helps.
What side of the workout thing you want on? This side, probably?
Yeah, go on that side. Go on that side. So listen, bro. Watch your face, bro.
Something to notice there. I'll rewind it actually, and we'll watch through it again together. So, as his partner comes across,
So listen, bro.
his taser is pointing at his partner the entire time. We call that muzzling somebody, right? When you have a gun, or in this case a less than lethal that can still fire a projectile, and you're pointing it at somebody who's supposed to be on your side, supposed to be on your team, right? And you're pointing it at their back or at their face, and maybe not even intentionally, right? But you're still doing it. And maybe if this guy didn't have a flashbang in one hand and a taser in the other, and then he was using his third hand to grab his gun at the same time, he'd be able to focus a bit more on what he's doing and get his stuff straight, right? So next time, have a little bit more muzzle control, because this is still a projectile weapon. You don't want to hit your buddy with a taser, right? Especially since there's only 2 of you. That would probably end pretty badly. So focus on what you're doing, Patty. Come on, you got this.
Not enough slack.
Don't want your fucking shitty ass clothes.
So, we just talked about this, Patty. Watch that muzzle, right? Because if you go through this, they used a flashbang, which is like a couple $100 piece of equipment, right? To try and push a guy back who they you know, obviously you can never be too safe, so that's not that bad of an idea. So he runs in there all commando style, he backhands the flashbang into there, his partner is hooking up the chain, you know, he's getting it prepared. Patty jogs back here like the badass he is, and now he's pointing his taser at his buddy's back again. He seems to have a habit, right? I don't know if the guy's wearing a bullseye on his back or if he really just hates him that much, but there's a lot of muzzling that goes on in this video. This is another perfect example of it, and there's a lot more to come, ladies and gents. There's a lot more to come. I'm probably gonna edit this out because I'm not gonna make you guys sit through this. I can even leave it playing in the background. I'll just turn it down a little bit. So a huge issue with this scene is they've now wasted, what is this, probably like 8 minutes at least, getting on scene, getting everything ready, hooking it up, getting back here. Now what they're doing is they're using this slow wench to try and actually, you know, pull that door off, and they end up repositioning the truck. This guy's standing between the truck and you know, the fence, so there's pressure being applied from the winch going through the fence. This dude's standing right in between the two. Right, so it's smart, right? It's the Darwin effect at its finest. And like I say, they end up repositioning the truck. What would happen in an actual situation like this is they would have a couple people go up, they would hook the door. This truck is gonna back the hell up, right? Instead of pulling any winch tight. So this truck's gonna back up and that rips the door off. Instead of pissing around with this loud, slow winch, you still got your paid actors in the background just standing there, not posting anything to social media. We'll go ahead and keep watching this. Like I say, I'll probably edit it out because it's not that entertaining. It doesn't make him look like a badass, and that's what we're here for. We're here to see the badass that is Patty Mayo, right? So let's get on to the next little area of the video. Real quick, something I want to point out here. Our big main man Tom, who's kind of the backup to our gunslinging Clint Eastwood-esque figure of Patty Mayo, this man here decided that it's still a good idea to run into battle with an empty taser. Okay, so if you look down here, this is so hard to do on the camera, but down here, basically right in line with my finger, you can see the tip of his taser. You can see that there's no cartridge loaded in there, so he's still got an empty taser right as they're about to apparently make entry to this dude's compound a second time. So the first time they made entry, if the dude come out and charged at them, they're basically screwed because he doesn't have a loaded taser. Patty has to reach around to his left side. He has to pull it out. He has to do a tactical switch to his right hand. He has to aim the damn thing. He has to shoot it, and then he throws the flashbang he's got in his left hand, right? So I don't know what these guys are doing, but at this point it's kind of just coming across as more of a cringeworthy high school play kind of take on, you know, how these things go rather than any sort of realistic thing. I will give them some, you know, credit. It is entertaining to a certain extent, right? This video is kind of just painful to watch as it goes on, but don't worry, we're going to dissect the whole thing. Onwards we must go. Something I want to point out here, so this is a 40mm grenade launcher, right? I don't know if in the whole lore of like the Patty Mayo world that's what it checks out to be, but we'll go with that, okay? So what you got going on here is you have a 40 mic, which then has a ladder sight on it, which is what this little system, at least what I call it, this little sighting system right here, right? And then you also have a holographic sight on top of that. Why? I don't know if you're gonna be doing marksman stuff out to like, you know, 200 yards with a grenade launcher, which you're not, by the way. You're not going to be doing that. So you don't need anything more than that ladder sight. Or if you have a holographic sight, right, get rid of the ladder sight. Trim that bitch off. Lighten it up a bit. Don't have something protruding that's then going to catch on everything, right? This video is like a perfect demonstration of what happens if you order a SWAT team from Wish.com, right? You'll have Patty Mayo and his buddy Tom show up all decked out in their airsoft gear after they get home from the field on Saturday and their mom takes them for chicken nuggies at Burger King, right? You'll have them show up in your backyard and do a smooth operation like this. So let's go ahead and continue the video. Tom, my man, Tom, we need to have a talk, okay? We need to have a talk, Tom. This is a serious talk. So, I understand you being commissioned by Patty to be a backup badass, and not quite as badass as Patty, because that would hurt his ego, and that's not what he wants, right? But Tom, my friend, you need to load your taser, okay? Patty Mayo, dude, we talked about this. Don't muzzle your teammates, okay? This is like the 4th time it's happened in this video, right? So as he walks down here, this dude's gonna keep muzzling him in the back with a 40mm grenade launcher. which is gonna hurt at close range, especially through their airsoft gear, right? Like, you know, not much is gonna stop the impact of that, especially airsoft gear, right? So this airsoft kit isn't that well made. The 40 mic's still gonna hurt pretty bad. So don't muzzle your teammates, Patty. It's just not the way to go. I'm sure Tom doesn't want to get shot in the butt cheek by a grenade launcher projectile, right? And I'm sure you don't want to be the one to do that. Hey, look at this. What do you think happens if this big, strong, strapping young man in the building bursts out right now and charges into our young hero Tom with his shield, right? Patty Mayo is going to instinctively pull that trigger because he's never been in a situation like that, and he didn't expect the dude to go off script. So he wasn't supposed to charge out right now. He's going to be like, oh my god, he's going to pull the trigger. And then Tom's going to get one right in his right butt cheek, right, from this 40 mil. And then Patty's going to have to pay out insurance fees and workers' comp for the rest of his life to, you know, feed Tom's family because he can no longer work since he had his leg torn off by a grenade launcher during Patty Mayo's, you know, drama class presentation, right? Like, so come on, man, don't muzzle your teammates. So, Mr. Patty here has made this, you know, real tactical, right? So he's got his ladder sight on there, he's got his EO tech, he's probably got some foregrips and, you know, all that kind of stuff too. And then over here he's got what I believe is going to be a laser sight. I don't know enough about them to tell if that's a laser or a flashlight. Please let me know down in the comments. But either way, this dude's got a laser on his grenade launcher, because everybody knows when you're going through and you're busting through doors and you're kicking down doors with, you know, your grenade launcher out, you definitely need that laser sight to acquire targets a lot faster. You know, if you're shooting 500 yards out with your grenade launcher, the laser sight is crucial to actually see where you're aiming, because for those of you who don't know and aren't experienced, you can shine a laser into the air like a bat signal to actually figure out where your grenade's going to land, right? It's pretty cool technology. Not a lot of people talk about this, so I'm super happy that Patty Mayo here is taking advantage of that technology. It's pretty crazy. It's nice to see it in the hands of, you know, our good guys in this situation. So onward with the video.
Fucking China, come back.
And right here, ladies and gentlemen, Tom is about to take one right up the butt. I'm not sure if it'll be the first time for that to happen or not, but it's going to happen here if Patty panics and pulls that trigger. That was a lot of P's, and I tried to do that intentionally, right? I hope you guys enjoyed that. But he's going to take one right up the middle, right betwixt his cheeks here if Patty pulls the trigger, right? So let's hope that doesn't happen for Tom's sake. He's way too young to die, right? So we don't want that to happen. Let's see what happens next in this riveting story. So now Patty's just fired what seems like it's supposed to be a mock CS gas, kind of like a crowd control gas grenade from his 40 millimeter, right? So you can see the gas over here just kind of doing its thing. Why? Right? That serves no purpose except to keep the guy in his house. Because in a situation like this, what would happen is you would fire the gas into the house where you want the guy to come out of, not at the entrance where you want him to come through, right? And in a little bit here, they're actually going to start walking up again straight into the gas they just shot, right? Which then would render them useless in any sort of realistic scenario. So I'm not sure exactly what was running through their head here. I'm sure it was the adrenaline, right? Because this is quite an adrenaline-infused situation that these fine lads are going through. So you can't really blame them. They're having the adrenaline jump and all, adrenaline dump and all, right? So, you know, it was just a little bit of a mistake there on Patty's part. So Patty just kind of freaks out and he's like, I'm gone, dude. Tom, you're on your own. Screw you, man. I'm getting out of here, okay? So Patty's just gone. He's beelining and he's following his film crew out, right? He's like, go, 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 go. Leave Tom on his own. I don't have to be faster than everybody, just faster than Tom. Tom's the sacrifice, right? So Tom follows them out after that.
We're on the ground! What? He's on the ground. He's on the ground. He's on the ground. That got him. Back up.
So Patty just ordered the guy with the shield to get out of the fence, and then he goes straight back into the dragon's den himself. So Patty has to be the center of attention here, right? Because if Patty wasn't the center of attention, his ego wouldn't get as big of a boost. So if he let Tom go in there with the shield, then he's like, oh damn, Tom is in frame. People are gonna think that Tom is pretty cool. I can't have that happen. What can I do here? Let's have Tom fall back through the fence, and then maybe I shoot the taser and the guy goes down. No. Tom comes out the fence. what could happen? Maybe the guy could charge it. No. Oh, I got it. Let's have Tom come back out the fence. This guy's gonna hold up like a large Rubik's Cube as a shield. I'm gonna go back in the fence and I'm gonna tase him. And then people think I'm a badass because I like went head to head with the snake, right? And I tried to take its head off. Yeah. And Tom's behind me the whole time. That'll give me an ego boost. Let's do that. So then that's what they decide to do. Right, and this is the product of what you get. Come on, Patty, let Tom have some of the spotlight as well. That's what we want to see. We want to see Tom in action.
Your back. Put your hands on the lower of your back. Go. Put your hands on the lower of your back now.
So I don't know if you noticed that, but Tom was actually inching his way in, right? We'll go back here a little bit. Tom was inching his way in from the right-hand side of the screen, right? So if you look over there, Tom was working his way in, and Patty's like, no, that can't happen. Tom isn't supposed to be here yet. So he's like, yo, dude, grab my taser refill. I shot this thing. I need my taser refill. You can't be seen yet. I still need more ego. I'm fueling up my ego, right? I'm gonna get enough ego and then go super sane once I get it charged up, right? So he's basically in his build-up phase. This is the build-up for Ultimate Patty to come out, right? So we're waiting for that, right? So Tom can't be in the frame at all. Tom can't be there because it takes away from his ego. So he had to get Tom to grab the replacement charge for his taser, apparently. So while Tom's doing that, let's keep watching.
Stay the fuck down, bro. Are you going out like this? Yeah?
As you can see here, Patty missed the day when their higher up was training them how to reload a taser. So Patty, in all his infinite wisdom, he knows how to shoot the taser twice and fail to deploy it both times, but he doesn't know how to reload his taser. So he's struggling here a little bit. Meanwhile, Tom, he's going up. He's like, I'll tase you, dude. I'll tase you. But Tom doesn't realize his taser is empty. Right, so Tom's not going to be a whole lot of use in this situation. And this guy's looking at him, and you can see his face. He's like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Your taser's empty. Like, look, his face says it all, right? So Patty's gotta keep trying to cram his new taser cartridge in there, right? He's trying to reload that. He's trying to get his taser back into the fight, right? He's just the ultimate badass, but his kryptonite is reloading tasers. So that's something you gotta work on, man. You gotta equip sleight of hand. I hear it helps with your reloads quite a bit, so you might want to try that out, right? You're kind of going for the whole Call of Duty operator vibe anyway, so sleight of hand would fit perfectly here, right? So let's go ahead and get that equipped for our next match, Patty, and let's go ahead and continue the video. Here's something important to look at with this, okay? This is the great acting I was mentioning. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna back this up, and we're gonna dissect this, okay? So my internet's being really slow, apparently. So hold on, we're getting there. Just give it a second. Alright, so right here, we're going to go ahead, we're going to go to settings, and we're going to slow this down to 1/4 time speed. Watch the taser when he deploys it.
Last chance right now. 3.
Just wait, here we go. Just wait.
2.
So as you can see up here, one of the taser prongs actually went like this and went, and it was gone. Okay, that was one of the prongs. You can see the little silly string attached to it that leads all the way back to the taser. Now, of course, our Mr. Bad Guy on the ground starts going and having a seizure, right? Because he just got hit by a taser, or so it would seem. There's something very intricate about how tasers work, Patty, and I don't know if you know this, and I don't know if your paid actors know this, but for a taser to work, both of the prongs have to hit and enter themselves and lodge themselves into whatever you're trying to actually effectively electrocute. The reason being, and I'm sure my electricians out there will know this, to complete a circuit, you're going to need to have a positive probe and a negative probe, right? So that you're having the electricity flow through your target. So what basically happened here is you had either the positive or the negative hit, and that's it. So that's not a complete circuit, Patty. This guy shouldn't be flopping around like a fish out of water here, okay? He isn't being tased, he's just acting poorly. He doesn't know that only one probe hit him. He's like, shit, Patty shot his gun, right? So, I'll give him some credit with the acting. It seems fairly legible, but for anyone who knows anything about this kind of stuff, that's not exactly how it works. And this is important, and I'm talking about it for a reason, because later on in the video, Patty actually tries to make an excuse.
Drop your fucking shirt. Put your hands on the lower.
So for anyone who doesn't know, A taser, when it's deployed, if it sounds super loud and you hear the crackle of electricity like that, what it means, and this is coming from the owner's manual of the tasers themselves, right? So what it means when there's a loud crackle like that is that it's an ineffective deployment, essentially. So when you hear that that you just heard, that sounds like electricity, right? It sounds kind of staticky. That means the taser isn't effective right now. You'll still hear that when it's effective, but it's a much lower pitch and it's much less prominent in these situations, right? So just keep that in mind. The loud crackling electricity means that this isn't effective, yet the guy is still, you know, having a seizure on the ground like it is effective. So they need to figure out how tasers work. I know that's kind of a point of contention in today's society. People don't exactly understand how this wondrous technology works, and it's kind of just the be-all, end-all, right, when it comes to any sort of police encounters. It's really not, and Patty here is making a very good case for why that's the case, right? So let's go ahead and continue and watch this acting masterpiece.
Dudes make money and feed everybody, man. I was everybody eat, but why y'all do this to me, man? I'm from the bottom.
I'm gonna hold cover on
Don't go
this.
in my fucking spot.
Shut
Don't
up.
go in my house.
Shut up.
Hey, man. Hey, it's against my culture. I got COVID. I got COVID-19, man.
I think we're clear, Tom.
Hey, man, you guys are
Yeah?
fucked up, man. Hey.
Yeah, we're clear.
Fucked up, man. You know how many times you guys take me, man? You know how many times you guys fucking take me?
Maybe next time
Well, I
you'll
guess
listen.
it's a good thing you.
Patty, my man, we've mentioned this already. You see what I seen down in the bottom of the screen there? Rewind it if you didn't. I keep pointing the wrong way. It's down here in the bottom, somewhere over here, right? Pointing his gun at the dude's head when he's on the ground. Come on, Patty. Someone as experienced as yourself. All your infinite wisdom, God tier Patty Mayo. Why would you do these things? This is like the 7th case of muzzling that we've seen in the video. Just don't do it, Patty. Come on, man.
You came prepared with a bulletproof sweatshirt or whatever the fuck that is.
Man.
I never even seen that shit, bro.
I know.
Shit,
Look,
man.
it just covers the back of his head,
Is
bro.
this what they're selling in the hood?
I can't tell you where I got
Where'd
the
you
plug
get
from.
this?
Here,
The black market.
Tom.
Ah!
Fucking spread your legs, sushi man.
Fuck you, man.
Right there, right there.
Fuck Trump, man.
So Tom,
Yeah, we're not Trump.
hold on. Let me give you some knowledge, Tom. All right. So when you have a guy like this,
Yep.
and you have a Taser 7,
Yep.
the difference is I can put one prong in one leg, and then that's why I gave him 2 shots right away.
Yeah.
Because then these connect to each other.
Okay. Oh, okay. So,
Feel me?
so if you hit one, your next shot hits another part, they'll connect.
Right.
Gotcha.
So Patty was actually kind of right about that part. He's talking about the whole cross connection thing of the taser. So basically, if you deploy a taser and one completely misses, it's useless. But what the new cross adaptive technology, I think it's called, something like that, it's the Avon Taser 7 that has it. What it does is when you deploy the taser the second time, the prong that was initially deployed can connect to the next 2 that go in, so it completes a circuit basically regardless, which means your second deployment is going to be a lot more effective even if one of those probes miss. The issue with this though is Patty didn't exactly utilize it in his video, because the guy got shot by one prong and then he started flopping around like a fish out of water without being shot with another prong. So you guys need to work on your acting, Patty. I get that you're trying to be all cool. You went on Wikipedia, you looked up how the taser system works. It's all cool, man. Your knowledge flex is pretty cool, but your actors kind of betray that, right? So definitely make sure they're on the same page in the future, but definitely make sure that they know both prongs have to hit before you start flopping around, that kind of thing. If you need somebody who is paid a little bit more, if you pay me $200 a video, I'll come down and I'll take a taser hit for you and I'll flop around like a fish when I have to. So if you want to do that, go ahead, buy me a ticket out to Los Angeles or wherever you're filming, and I'll come on scene and do that for you. It'd be a pretty cool experience.
We're gonna do it for this one. We're gonna call PD for a transport. Maybe we'll call Zach for transport.
Yeah,
Shut your mouth. Just shut your mouth.
Say you fucking
Shut your mouth. I'm Patty Mayo. We'll see you on the next one.
So that's where this great video ends, with them assaulting the dude to keep his mouth shut, right? So it was a great production, Patty. I'm super proud of you, dude. You've come a long way. They were kind of trying to do their catchphrase there at the end. So a long time ago, this Patty Mayo dude made a video where he had the pineapple juice man, right? So the guy lays down on the ground and is like, I say his words, pineapple juice, dude. And then later on, he's like, pineapple juice, right? And it became a super big meme. You guys have probably seen it by now. So what he was trying to do here is get another one like that going to promote his stuff, right? So he's like, spread your legs, sushi man. You know, trying to be all authoritative and stuff like that too. It just didn't come off right, Patty. You know, it's a little bit of cultural appropriation there as well. I don't know why cancel culture hasn't found this yet. Maybe they will in the future, who knows? But I'm sure you could deal with anything that anybody throws at you. You're just such a badass after all. So like I say, Patty, this was just a critique of the realism. If you want somebody to be your realism consultant, go ahead, hire me. For $500 a night, I'll do it for you, right? Every video, I'll consult what's real, what's not. That way you can go ahead and make it look a lot more aesthetic and a lot more pleasing to the people who know anything about this kind of stuff. So go ahead and let me know if you'd be interested in my services. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everybody stays safe. The world's a crazy place right now. This is all in good fun, by the way. I have nothing against Patty Mayo, so you know, take it with a grain of salt. It's just for laughs. It's just for giggles. Definitely go check out his content. I'll leave a link down below. You know, like I say, I hope everybody stays safe. Have a great night, everyone. I will see you in the next video.